Nepal is the second poorest country in the world. Once you get out of Kathmandu, that's when you really see the poverty. People living in clay huts, you know, timber patched up with clay. Some live in caves. So it depends where you go in Nepal, but the poverty out there is huge.
The economic condition of the village is very poor. I faced a lot of struggle there, due to death of my parents. The society did not care about us.
If you're unfortunate and you're the lowest of the low, you might be a Badi in the Badi caste, where you'll get sold into the sex trafficking overseas.
They take her in one room and that 6 girls catch her hands and legs and they open her clothes, and that boy was ready to do prostitute things with her. By forcing her, she have to do 60 to 70 persons that things, prostitute things.
There's some testimonies where young girls has been drugged, taken by a group of boys and sold and then put in prostitution and punished because she didn't want to do the things that they were telling her she had to do. So then they cut her legs and arms and stuff like that and beat her up. If you're in the Chapang community, they don't sell their children, which is good, but they can't afford their children and they live in caves and clay floors.
This is Christina. I first sponsored her when she was 12 years old. She's now 16, about to turn 17 next month. She's finished her school education now, so she's finished all her exams. And she's going to college. What are you going to study at college?
Major English.
Major English, and she'll be a school teacher.
When I first went to Nepal, and I was in a place called Gorkha, it's where the Gurkhas train. And it was a spiritual journey for me again too. I'm thinking, okay, why am I here, God? Why have you brought me here? And it sort of dawned on me, what do they need? They've got nothing. And they need clean water. They need a better life.
After coming from foreign country, her father divorced her mom, and when they were homeless, so they cut down all the trees were in jungles and they built a small hut to stay. She was eldest daughter, so she takes care of her brothers and she stays in own home.
92% of the water is contaminated. They cremate in the rivers, they bath in the rivers, they defecate in the river, they wash their trucks in the river. Everything you could possibly want to do with, in the river stream, that's what they do, and that's where their water source is. But in some areas they will defecate behind the back of their hut. And how they perceive wealth is whoever's got the biggest crap pile, basically, at the end of the year is the one who's eaten the most. So that's how they perceive wealth. Yeah, sorry. I just wish the Western culture could see how the other half of the world is living, and so small can make such a big difference. And every 12 months I see the same children and the light in their eyes and the smile in their face. Once you sponsor them, they've got a hope, they've got a future. I was compelled to do something. I couldn't just sit there and not do anything. So I started Bentham Foundation. So we have Bentham Foundation, the Lighthouse Foundation, registered with Nepali government, registered with Australian government, and then we have the Global Developments. And Global Developments keeps both of us accountable, and we get audited every 6 months, and the whole thing's transparent. So basically what we say we're going to do, Global Developments make sure we do it. And so they have to go over there and check everything we do. They take an admin fee of 7%, so out of $60, $5 goes to Global Developments. The rest of it goes direct to the child. So 5 years ago I bought a block of land in Nepal, and we've now built a building. I was able to put 15 children into the hostel. So these children, most of them have families. There's only 1 or 2 that their mother and father have already died, but most of them have families, but the families can't afford the children.
In Japan, there's about 52,000 Japang in the community. And unfortunately, about 50% of the children under 5 years old would die due to poor malnutrition and poor water quality.
We've basically got 15 children, and we've put them in, gave them a bath, got new clothes. They were riddled with lice. And then we fed their bellies, and then we just played for 3 hours. I just sat back and I just watching them running around, and they all had smiles and playing for the first time. They don't have toys. Just to see them play with things and having fun and do what children are supposed to do and not work. Yeah, it was really worthwhile. I sit down and this is what I go through the stress for. This is what I run businesses for. This is what Certified's about. It's about making a difference.
Let me see the face, brother.
Yeah.
Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Good.
There's 50 children that we want to get into the hostel. And I had to pick 15 of them. It's like playing God, you know. I've got to choose 15 children who I'm going to make a difference. I didn't like it. I want to get all 50, but I don't have the funds, I don't have the money to do that, obviously. I've got to get the sponsorship to get all 50 children in there. So yeah, it was hard. But when they go in the hostel, their circumstance change. This little girl who got sold and got drugged and sold, when she came into the hostel, she got rescued and she went back to her community, but the community saw her as filth. So when she came back, she was an outcast within the community and gets spat at and all sorts of things, other things that I won't tell you about. And you know, someone out there sponsors this child and it's changed her life. She now wants to be a lawyer. She's been in the hostel for 2 years and she wants to go back and rescue all the other children from these bad men.
That means hello.
There's a block of land that I want to buy. It's $35,000. I've got till the end of the year for them to hold it for me. And it's 1.5 acres and I can build a school. And it's been promised to us, but I've got till the end of the year to raise the 35 grand. And the government said if we buy that, they'll give us another 1.5 acres for free. It doubles the size, it's great. But it all comes down with paying for the land first. For me to see my dream with Bentham Foundation, where we've now built the building, and just to get a school there and then totally change that community, yeah, I'm excited for that. It's $60 a month. It changes their life. That $60 feeds them, educates them, clothes them and houses them. They don't have that. They sleep on clay floors. You know, at 6 years old, they're working in the field. If they are fortunate enough to go to school, they have to work for a month to save up to go to school for a week. If you want to make a difference in the world, please come talk to me. Have a look at the video, have a look at the website. Let's change lives together. Get on board. Make a difference.